You're so interesting.
I love your browser history.
I like that you're not hiding anything from me.
By the way, nice IP address. I like your neighborhood.
You are so special. This ad is just for you.
I learned so many things from you.
You are so generous.
With your personal data.
Switch on privacy, switch off trackers and viruses. Go to NordVPN.com. NordVPN. Safely be you.
Brighton 2, Chelsea 1. Maresca outclassed. Chelsea out of the FA Cup. And of course, they can still win the Conference League. That is very much beneath, I believe, and I mean that with respect, the legacy and the quality and brilliance, the history and the size that is Chelsea. No major trophy again for Chelsea after bowing out the Carabao Cup. Of course, they're not going to win the Premier League and going out tonight. And I will say, I stand shoulder to shoulder with every single Chelsea fan tonight. The players were pathetic. The manager, the system, the approach was woeful. And this has been going on for a number of weeks now. 3 wins in the last 10 games, and it is nowhere near the standard. I want to get your thoughts and opinions on why today went so wrong. What's been happening in these last 10 games? We want to hear from you. We're going to share the link for you to phone in. Of course, we'll look at some of your comments. We'll prioritize our members and our super chats. And thank you to every single person that sends them into us. But I actually want to start, I suppose, by congratulating Brighton. They started off with an horrendous mistake. They looked like they were going to be in really, really big trouble. And they were able to turn that around. They were able to regroup. And when you consider that Brighton got battered 7-0 just a week ago, I thought overall it was a very, very, very good performance from them. There's no doubt about it. Matoma, probably the best I've seen him in a long time. Baliba just dominated that midfield at the right times. You know, they had 42% of the ball, but a lot of the time they were quite comfortable with Chelsea having it. They were very, very comfortable second half anyway. First half was a weird game for both sides. Good opening 10 by Chelsea. Brilliant second 10 by Brighton. Then I thought both teams were piss poor. Absolutely piss poor until half time. But Brighton were by far the better team. And for Chelsea, they had 1 shot on target in the whole game. And that wasn't even the goal. The goal was a missed, I don't think the goal's gone to Palmer. The goal has been given as an own goal because it was a cross that essentially went in because the goalkeeper fumbled it. So no real quality. Palmer had 1 shot on target in the game. Nobody else did. But yes, congratulations to Brighton. Fair play to them. They're in the next round. And I'm not going to lie. Listen, my club, Man United, have got about this much chance of winning it this year. We're not very good. Probably would prefer to have got Chelsea than Brighton in the next round because of our record against Brighton. I mean that with absolute respect to Chelsea. But yes, congratulations to Brighton. They thoroughly, thoroughly deserve to be in the next round. Before we get on to Chelsea, though, I want to give a shout out to our title sponsor tonight, NordVPN, and it is very important for you to protect yourself when you're online. If you get dodgy emails, dodgy GMs, dodgy texts, people telling you that your life insurance renewal is due when you don't have life insurance, people telling you you've got to phone in now because of a problem or your lottery numbers have come in, that means that your personal data has been harvested is the word, and it's out there. You need to protect your IP. Now, some of you are going to try and wind up some Chelsea fans tonight. You want to protect your IP address so they don't come looking for you, because some Chelsea fans will be on the warpath tonight. And NordVPN is the best place for it. But the best part of having a VPN is what you can do when it comes to streaming and content. You can have apps from different parts of the world because you can change your geolocation. So all the 3 p.m. kickoffs for the Premier League, the FA Cup today, I was able to watch. I was watching Real Madrid versus Ati before I went live. I was watching the Bundesliga today. And you can do that when you have NordVPN. You turn on your geolocation changer and you can sign up to Setanta Sports. It's an amazing app. It's not illegal streaming. You can't get into any trouble for it. Lots of different sports and sports from the NBA to the UFC, which is on tonight, by the way, a massive fight card. So you can get all of that at the touch of your hands thanks to NordVPN, the very best in the business. Now, Chelsea, I thought the start of the season, you looked great. I felt as though, I don't know what I've just done to my screens then. I just zoomed in really close. Let me just zoom out. Why is it all gone big? I literally pressed something and it made all my stuff on Google, like anything that's connected to Google, go massive. I don't know how I've done that. Anyway, I'll fix it later. I was impressed with Chelsea at the start of this season, but in the last 10 games, the fall off is real. 2 or 3 matches, maybe 4 or 5, you can say it's poor form. Yes, I understand that there are some injury concerns. Of course, I understand that. I'm not stupid. But I watched Chelsea tonight, and look, Caicedo had a decent game, like when he was on the ball. So I'm not going to drag every single player. But I thought your fullbacks were ineffective. Your wide players, Neto and Sancho that started. A lot of people were going on Sancho. He was very poor tonight in large parts of the game. But it wasn't just him. You bought Madueke, didn't change it. Jaws didn't change it. Palmer, for me, had an absolute stinkfest. For a player as good as he is, I thought he was shocking. The build-up play was awful. And Nkunku just isn't a number 9. It doesn't work in any way, shape, or form. You're better off giving an academy player an opportunity. But it was slow. Individually, it was poor by the majority of your team tonight. You go back to the first goal, you conceded the equalizer. It was so obvious that Veltman was going to cross that ball first time. Your players weren't set. They weren't ready. There was a lack of press. There was a lack of urgency. When you conceded, so when you then tried to get back into the game and and try and win, you're moving the ball so slowly, static. And I am looking at Enzo Maresca. Now, I'm not writing off his entire career because that would be hyperbolic and over the top at this particular moment in time. It would be massively, massively over the top. But he is struggling. And a lot of people said that he dies in the second half of seasons. And again, him doing it last year and this year, I don't think is conclusive proof that that is going to continue happening, that is going to be a regular occurrence. That is something that I think that Chelsea fans are going to have to worry about today, tomorrow, next week, and forever. I don't necessarily think that. It might be a little too extreme, potentially, at this particular juncture. But there are problems at Chelsea that go beyond form. Lots of players performing really badly. The managers seemingly having very few ideas on how to change things up. The team look static. Players, I don't want to say they look out of position because they're kind of playing where they should be. But their performances, it's like they're out of position. They don't know what they're doing. I was told that Maresca likes to play with touchline wingers. And for large parts of the second half, I saw the fullbacks wide and I saw the wingers tucking in. And maybe that's always been the way he plays. But I felt that you were using your fullbacks to try and be your main attacking threat out wide when that's your wingers' job. And they were inverting and they were then becoming very ineffective. And earlier on this season, the football that Chelsea played was quick, fluid, dangerous, scary. It truly was. And I want to understand from you what you think's happened. What has happened that has made, in your opinion, Chelsea fall off so dramatically since Christmas? Because they have fallen off dramatically since Christmas. There's no doubt. And as I say, look, Brighton had their moments today. Matoma, I thought, was one of the best performances I've seen in a long time. Danny Welbeck led the line well. Belieber, excellent in the middle as an example. Defensively, barring that mistake, they cleared everything. Even when they lost, who did they take off? Dunk. When Dunk came off and Webster came on, nothing changed for them. I thought they were excellent. I want to take nothing away from Brighton. But I did feel as though Chelsea just, they faded. There was an opportunity right at the end when the ball gets knocked over the top and Noni Madueke gets onto the end of it and cuts it back. And that looks a little bit dangerous. Outside of it, genuinely, I think Chelsea could have played for another hour, another 2 hours, and they wouldn't have scored. but something's got to give because Chelsea's season is at risk of really petering out and fading away, and massive pressure will mount against Enzo Maresca. And look, I know my fan base as a United fan is not particularly patient. Chelsea's is the same. You could argue worse. And if those performances don't start to get better, because there are a lot of Chelsea fans like Don, like Ches, regulars on the terrace, who think this squad's amazing. They still believe that this squad's better than Arsenal, one of the best in the league. So they will be coming for the manager. That's the only explanation, is the manager is the problem. And that pressure is going to start to mount on him. It truly, truly is. So I want to get your views. What went wrong today? What are the wider issues right now at Chelsea Football Club? Let us know in the comment section below. I'd love to get your opinions. I'd love to get your thoughts on that right now. People, no, Terry, it's the directors. And listen, I can hear that. I'm asking for what you think it is. I'm just saying a lot of Chelsea fans very soon are going to go for Enzo Maresca. He will be the target. I think we could all agree on that. I think we can all agree on that, can't we? I believe most people will see that and say it. I really, really do. Especially if, and this is the worst thing that can happen, especially if a Tottenham or a Man United go on and win a trophy. Like if Tottenham win and won the Europa League, if Man United win and won the FA Cup again, as bad as we are. And look, Chelsea might end the season with the Conference League, but I think if Chelsea fans put their hand on their heart, if they end up 6th or 7th in the league, because your current form dictates that, no FA Cup, no Carabao Cup, no Champions League next year, and they win the Conference League, and the football isn't progressing, the football isn't getting better, I think Chelsea fans will be very, very disappointed with that as a season. And then you get insult to injury. Teams that you know you're better than, maybe picking up a trophy. It rubs that salt into the wound. And I feel like a storm's coming at Chelsea if the football doesn't get better quickly. So again, as I say, I want your thoughts and I want your opinions. Make sure you hit the like button for us. Get that done now, people. I know you're busy chatting, talking to each other, but I'd love to hear from you. I love hearing from you, but get that like button smashed, please. Get that done for us right about now. Some super chats and member chats here. Grey Wolf's Dinner said it's a red flag when players that the club have just signed want out in January. Maresca has lost the dressing room. Don't blame Maresca. No actual top manager would ever touch this disgrace of a club. That's Grey Wolf Dinner, long-standing member of the Football Terrace. I think, as you can see there, nearly 60 months fuming at his football club. Thinks the manager has lost the dressing room, but isn't blaming him. And I understand. So I'm just bookmarking when we started the super chat so you guys can come back and see your stuff. Listen, I hear you, mate. I genuinely hear you. Everyone's gone at the club. Zero ambition to win is what Dyke says here. I mean, tonight looked like none of the players had ambition. And if you're right and the directors don't have ambition and the owners don't have ambition to win, that will manifest itself on the pitch. Decay here says 1.5 billion to create that on the pitch. Something is off. This doesn't add up. Someone investigate Chelsea, MI5, CIA, anybody. This has got to be money laundering. Listen, I know that you're frustrated. That made me laugh. I'm sorry to laugh. I know it's a bad day for Chelsea, but that's quite funny. Let's back this amazing coach who is wonderful. Oh, my God. Such exceptional tactics. Liverpool play a winger as a 9 and still win, but let's follow our process, is what Samuel says here. DR says, season almost over if we can't get top 4. I am this close to saying Maresca out if he thinks he can get away coaching like that. Directors failed him. They should have bought in January, there's no doubt. The one question I have about Maresca is, though, this is the same group of players that were killing it. I remember Ches, and I'm using Ches as an example. He's a very long-standing member of the Football Terrace. I remember he came on in December. And do you remember when he made the comment about no rivals ever talk about my club? I think he said words to the effect of, like, I forget more about Chelsea than you'll ever know about it. It was something along those lines. Don't talk about my club. I told you we'd get to the top. It's that squad still. So I'm not saying you said that, DR. I'm pointing out that squad that was playing brilliant football and that got into a title race position, it's the same players. So as much as the directors should have bought more, I don't think that excuses these last 10 games. It isn't as though you've had a massive injuries in that period. Most of your best players have been fit and available, I think. I can't think of any long-standing major injuries. So I think there's a combination here. I absolutely agree they should have done more in January. Totally concur. I think there's more, though. And that's maybe why you're on the Maresca out element. Be nice if Terry criticised Arsenal like Chelsea, but no. I'll be honest. The thing is, though, Pep, this is where you're wrong. I said that it was gross negligence of their board to not buy in January. I absolutely ripped into them when Man United knocked them out of the FA Cup within my celebrations. I have stated that Arteta must be judged on the trophies that he win. I said they were pathetic and bottled it in that first game against Newcastle as a situation. I said, I think my title of a video when they were 2-0 up and then didn't win against Villa is they bottled it. The difference is that Chelsea have spent double what Arteta has in the last 3 years, and they're not even in a title race. So the thing is this, you can deflect if you want to the way I talk about Arsenal, the way I talk about Man United. The Chelsea fans who follow the Football Terrace religiously, and I mean this in the nicest possible, they know I'm fair. They know that I am fair. And earlier on this season when they were doing well, I was praising them. But we can't be, this run is awful. It needs to be spoken about. If you want to deflect to Arsenal, that's on you, my friend. 3 years, Clear Lake have this club and we still look so poor. Absolutely terrible game. Where's the link? I'm going to share the link now in the live chat for you all people. If you guys want to come on and have your say, that's coming right now. I did forget to do it. KJ's off there. It's KJ's birthday, by the way. So that's why KJ's not around today. So I'm having to do all of it. Hard. Gav says players didn't turn up. Not having a good striker has been a problem. Having no strikers is more painful. Wingers pointless without a striker. A lot of our goals are conceded by the same cross for first. And then sporting directors are clowns. So I hear you on that, Gav. I do think they let you down this January. 110% they did. Sack the clown is what Samuel says here, talking about Enzo Maresca. He wants him sacked. He wants him out of the football club. Do you agree, viewers? Do you agree here with Samuel that Enzo Maresca should go? I don't know if it solves anything. Unless the reason that you've gone backwards in the last 10 games is him, then you could argue it does solve something. I suppose if you're someone like Ches, I'll use Ches as an example because you know who he is. He believes in the process. He believes in the board. He believes in everything that they're doing. Not everything, but he believes in the overall process that Clear Lake have put in place. So maybe he looks at it and goes, yeah, well, it's all fine, really. It's just the manager's getting turned crap, gone off the boil. So let's change him. So there might be some Chelsea fans who believe that. I think maybe there's a few deeper issues. I'd love to get your opinions on that, people. This is all on the owners, not the manager or players. Trash owners bring in trash directors. We were world champions, and now we are losing to a team that has never won a major trophy in its history. And Bear, listen, I hear that pain. And I was also looking at Brighton's record before this game. They lost their last 4 matches to you as well. So this is a team that themselves are on the ropes. You've beaten them 4 times on the bounce until tonight. And they absolutely, Maresca was outclassed. And he had no answers for what Brighton were doing. And Brighton actually sat in really deep at times in the game as well. Went to a back 5, made it hard for Chelsea. And Maresca just didn't know what he was doing. And what popped in, I'm not making a conclusion statement here. Just something that went through my head during the game. Have you heard Gary Neville ever talk about when he was managing in La Liga? And he said he set up a system. And he said, I want to say he said it was Luis Enrique. It might be somebody else. And he went that, like, within the game, that manager changed his system 2 or 3 times in formations. And he had like an epiphany moment where he just went, I ain't got a clue what to do. The way this coach just went from a 4-3-3 to a 4-2-3-1 to a 5-4-1 in the sort of 10 minutes in that shape, and then changed it again when I made a substitution. He was just like, I couldn't cope with it. That popped through my head during this game where I looked at Maresca and thought, and this isn't a dig, does he know what to do? Well, he's been a coach a couple of years. He's never coached at this level. there is the potential that right now, potential only, he just doesn't know what to do. He doesn't have the experience. And the pressure that, I know tonight isn't a Premier League game, it's an FA Cup game. But for all intents and purposes, you get my point. Harold here says, Enzo M took over a good Poch team, third in the league in the second half of the season. Poch took over Chelsea with a broken back. Deserves more respect, just saying, is what Harold says here. Big up yourself, Harold. Yeah, look, when you had those Chelsea fans all season, like slagging Poch off after every win, they might end up regretting that just because the receipts will have been kept and there's going to be a whole new group of Chelsea fans that are going to start coming back at them soon. Now, as a rival, it's going to be quite fun to watch. Talk about dunk elbow to Palmer's face. Talk about Lamptey's handball lip to the goal. I love that you brought that up, actually. I was going to bring it up with the panel. So I haven't seen dunk elbow. I genuinely haven't seen it. Send me a link to a replay of it. I must have been out the room doing something. I didn't see that on my life. The handball. The commentator said that VAR wouldn't have overruled it because it didn't lead directly to a goal. As in, like, it didn't hit his hand, then go in. I think with VAR, there is the potential they would have overturned that goal. Potential for them to overturn it. I think that kind of handball should probably be given as handball. So I do agree. However, the same energy as I had last night for the Man United situation, as an example, the same energy I showed this afternoon for a tackle from Lewis Miley upon, I don't remember the player's name, from Birmingham. I think he's had to have something like 15, 16 stitches in his shin. The referees in these games this weekend, referees have made split-second decisions, and I think they've got some wrong. I think some of the mistakes that have happened have been, I'm not sure. And I think they have an instinct of leaving it because VAR is normally there. And I go, fuck, there's no VAR. But I'll keep the same energy I've had for every game this season that I've been questioned about with no VAR. It's a mistake, potentially. And I think everyone will see this handball differently because some will say it's completely accidental and didn't lead directly to a goal. So there is an argument there. But let's just live in the world where we say it's handball. I have the same energy. There's no VAR. These mistakes, this is what used to happen in football all the time. Look at the goal that Birmingham conceded first. It doesn't look like it crossed the line. The linesman kind of guessed. But this is, if we get rid of VAR in its entirety, this is what you're going to see more of. This is why I want VAR. I just want it to get the decisions right on a more regular basis or be consistent, really. So, yeah, I hear you on that. But, yeah, there's no VAR. So what can be done? Once it was given, it was given. And you know, there was no one that could have got into his ear and said, I think you've made a mistake. It is what it is. So, yes, it may have been a mistake. Some people may disagree with this one. It's going to be a very subjective one, this handball. Chelsea players look sleepy on that pitch. Looks like Maresca went to each player's house and be like, wake up, and got them in to the game in an hour. Oh, like he just woke them up. I hear what you're saying. Yeah, they were very lethargic tonight. One-dimensional, zero backup tactics, annoying as F, is what Dyke says here. Ronin says, only disappointment will be finishing with no trophy and missing the top 5. We forget how we got here. Rebuilding for sustained success takes time, is what Ronin's got to say. Chelsea fans, do you agree with that statement? Let us know in the comment section below. And why didn't the ref give a straight red for the Orient cynical foul? Well, because they're not reds. They made a mistake. Cynical fouls are not red cards. They are yellow cards, and I think that's what they gave, was a yellow card. The reason the world was so frustrated with the same as Lewis Skelly's was because when we all saw the replay, everyone that knows ball went, they'll overturn that, and they didn't. That's where the shot came from. Bruno Fernandez's red card, we all watched the replay and went, it's not a red. They didn't overturn it. That's where the frustration comes from. No one ever thinks that cynical foul today was a red card. So I don't really understand where you're coming from with. I don't really get your question, if I'm being honest with you. I don't see where that marries up. Let's start bringing the panel out now, people. We got Mo and we've got Elijah. not very many Chelsea fans around tonight. They're all busy probably. This is what I find with a lot of Chelsea fans. When they win, they're never out with friends, family. They don't have girlfriends. When they lose, they're all busy. They've all got lives. Not you guys. You guys are here. I love that. We have shared the link if you guys want to phone in and have your say. I know Nick and a few others want to delve in and have their say tonight. I'm going to put the link again into the live chat if you guys want to dial in and have your say. It will be great to hear from you. Before we bring the panel out, as I say, make sure you got the like button here and make sure you are subscribing. I know a lot of you haven't hit the like. I know a lot of you watching your TVs and stuff, but yeah, get that like button smashed right about now, people. What's this say here? Oh, sorry, I've already read that super chat. It wasn't. I thought it was a new one, but it wasn't. Absolutely get it hit there. Mo's here with me. Elijah is here as well. Got a few others backstage. We're going to bring you on in a few moments. I'm not too sure where Mo's gone, but Elijah, what went wrong tonight in your opinion, mate?
Everything went wrong, Terry. The performance was shocking. Absolutely shocking. Like the second half, Terry, we had no shots on target. Guess what? Throughout this whole game, one shot on target, and that was the goal. That was the goal. That's the only shot on target we had. All of the players out there today were embarrassing. There was no heart. There was no passion. There was no desire. Palmer, another poor performance from him. He scored the goal, nice, but he was ghosting. He was shocking. Nkunku, like, we know he's not a false nine, but today, shocking. Like, the goals that we conceded, Terry, was absolutely horrendous. The first goal that Brighton scored, poor from Tosin and Chalobah, because there was no marking. But the second goal, Terry, I completely lose my mind because Matoma had all the space in the world of the left-hand side. He had all the space. And now remember the goal where Martelli scored, we drew 1-1 at Stamford Bridge. It was similar. Everyone was ball watching. Where was our defending for that goal? Nowhere. Absolutely nowhere. It was a joke, man. So to me, Terry, we're out of the FA Cup and out of the Carabao Cup. It's a joke. But let me tell you something, Terry, yeah? Maresca, this is not on him. This is going to the sporting directors, yeah? Because they had 34 days, Terry. 34 fucking days to sign a player. Guess who we signed? Martinius, the 90-year-old. Like, what are we doing here? You had lots and lots of money to sign in a striker, a goalkeeper, a midfielder, and a centre-back. Well, he signed one fucking player. Listen, Terry, I know I told you we're going to finish top 4 this season, but listen, after what I saw tonight, we're not finishing the top 4. I'm telling you this right now. We are not finishing the top 4 because Man City are going to finish above us, maybe Newcastle as well, and possibly Bournemouth. It's a joke, Terry. I want Paul Winstanley, Lawrence Stewart, Clay Lake. I want them out of my fucking club because they don't fucking care. They don't care about me. They don't care about the fans. They don't care about Chelsea. All they care about is spending money. 1.5 billion wasted. João Felix loaned him out to AC Milan.
Trust the process. Trust the process, yeah? Trust the process, yeah?
No, don't tell me trust no fucking process. I'm not trusting this shit. Because this project is a failure. It's taken us nowhere. 3 years, Terry. 3 years ago, we won the Club World Cup and we finished in the top 4. What happened since then? 12th place, no trophy. Conference League, no Champions League. Tell me, like, what are we doing as a football club? We are solely progress because of these owners. They don't fucking care. All they care about is themselves. That's why I want all of them gone. All of them. Because they do care, we're not being this mess in the first place. It's a joke, Terry. Maresca got it wrong, especially in the second half, because he had no shots on target. Like, what is going on? Where was this energy after we scored the first goal? Nowhere. And Brighton deserved the win because they were better than us in the second half. They had chance of the chance. We're lucky that it's only 2 because it could have been 3 or 4. We deserve to go out of what I saw tonight. Embarrassing, disgusting, disgraceful. And if these sports directors don't go, then they themselves are embarrassing because they don't care. Honestly, Terry, I had enough. Fucking disgrace from every player, the manager. It's a joke, man. We deserve to go out. Congratulations to Brighton, man. They deserved it. Out of 2 League Cups already. And let me tell you something, Terry. I dare Chelsea, yeah, to not win the Conference League. Because if we don't, yeah, that's even more embarrassing than losing the FA Cup and going out to the Carabao Cup. Because we should be winning that competition. And if we fail to do so, another embarrassing season. Embarrassing, man. Fucking embarrassing, man. I had enough. I'm fuming, man.
I hear that you're fuming. And listen, I do agree with your last statement there that if you don't win that Conference League, I think the proverbial will hit the fan even more. Before I go to Mo, we've got Chelsea fan here, Dan. By the way, Andrew and UFC, I can see you guys backstage. We'll bring you in. We can see you. Dan, from your point of view as a Chelsea fan, it was really flat tonight. What's going through your head, mate?
All right, Terry, I've been trying to come on your show for ages. The language, it's good. I just want to come out with a few things. I know a lot of people on YouTube, and there's one thing in life: trust the process. Half our fan base, I feel sorry for you, because you know what? Myself and a few people on our YouTubes told every single Chelsea fan about these jellyfish merchant owners, these Jicky Jacky Pillyfish, project. You're telling us, right? This is the most good concede, Oh, we're in a title race. Are we in a title race? How could you class, what? Because we understand a championship manager, Enzo Maresca, won the Leicester to get him to the top of the league, You get in a non-experienced manager, it's probably done well, part of them Pochettino. Everyone wanted Pochettino out because of the situation last season, but he still got his top 6. This whole shamble of a club, I hear day in and day out and day in and day out, we need to protest. We have half of our fan base believing these owners. When our fan base is going to wake up, they're not changing the model, they're not changing the system, right? You have Jellyfish Merchant, you got Winston Stanley and Egg Barley and Todd Bowley and all these lot, doing all these systems about bringing in young development. They're just here for the money. This season, at this January transfer market, you didn't bring us what we needed, a striker, what we've been crying out for. A centre-back, what we've been crying out, a proper leader who can lead the ship the line. Because Reece James ain't the one, right? He's been in and out injuries every single time. And then you suddenly bring him back because that's what you need. You have no goalkeeper experience. You have Sanchez, once again, playing tonight against Brighton, that he's made so many mistakes. There is no project or no trust in this project. We're relying on Cole Palmer, and he's been bad for 1 month. He hasn't turned up into big games like Man City, and you're shaking hands with Pep Guardiola and laugh with him. What's that about? What is this? We are a shamble of a club. Top 4 is our most environment this season to get Champions League. And what do you need to be in top 4? You need a cast solid team to strengthen to the end of the season. Liverpool does it. Arsenal do it. Yeah? Man United used to do it. But the thing is, I'm sorry, Terry, but I had to go on that one. But Man City, they're falling off a bit, but look, they can still get to that top 4. We was 11 points clear away from Man City and Newcastle. And we're now same points of trying to fight top 4. The situation, it is a joke. We're out the FA Cup. These owners, right, and a guy on the red top, you came at a point with Hassan about a Liverpool fan, about the future, In the future, right now, if Liverpool didn't have the team what they had, like the experience, like Van Dijk or Salah, do you think they'd be the way being title challengers in the Premier League? No, they wouldn't. The situation, because clubs like us, like Chelsea Football Club, these owners are ruining our history. You ruin our history with Roman Abramovich DNA. Our blood is in DNA of all our Chelsea fans. Yeah, it's like basically we are Chelsea Football Club. We do have the 20 years successful, but the thing is, it's just gone downhill. I cannot blame Enzo Maresca for this. I can't blame him because you, as an owner, you got rid of Thomas Tuchel. You got rid of the best manager who's experienced, and some of our fan base, like Ronnie Jennings, weren't happy about him. Like, get rid of him. But he was still there fighting to day one. What is it going to take us fans to wake up and smell the coffee? These owners for the last 10 years, yeah, are not going to change no model. We're going to keep the same with the sporting directors. It's just not going to change. And honest truth, Terry, I've fed up. I've had enough.
I can hear enough. Mate, listen, Dan, I can hear that you're fed up. I can hear you're frustrated, and I understand your gripes. I really, really do. Eli and Dan, we're going to bring some other people through and onto the show, but thank you both for coming on and giving us your opinions.
Yeah,
and
one thing, Terry, I would say,
yes, mate.
One thing I would say, Terry, is that I'm getting sick and tired of people calling me negative. Oh, you're not a Chelsea fan. Oh, you're being deluded. Why do you think I'm speaking like this? Because I want my club to win. I want my club to win, man. I want my club to get back to where we are. Challenge for the titles, finish in the top 4, winning the trophy. I'm not negative. I'm speaking the truth because I'm seeing this week in and week out. And when I see embarrassing performance like this, I have to be angry because it's not good enough for Chelsea Football Club. It is not.
What do you make of this comment here from Ronan, who says these supporters equal more embarrassing than the loss?
What do you mean? I'm a Chelsea supporter. What? Embarrassing than the loss? Like, listen. I'm not sure if you're referring to me, right? But I'm not deluded Chelsea fans here. I am not. I'm speaking the truth. I'm speaking facts. Do you hear me human saying, oh, we're gonna do this, or we're in the title race? Never when I said we're in the title race, because I knew that this team is not good enough. We had the likes of Sanchez, no striker. Look at Jackson, injured. Mark Guru, injured. And you tell me we can only put Nkunku up top. No, it's embarrassing, man. These sports directors can all fucking leave my club because they don't care.
Listen.
So if you guys think I'm negative, fair enough. But I'm here to speak the truth, and I want my club to win. That's why I speak like this. It's a joke.
And you are entitled to speak the truth as you see it. We'll chat to you again soon, Eli. Top man for coming on. I appreciate it, brother. We'll speak again soon. Thank you very much indeed. If you guys want to call in, the link is in the live chat, so you can come on and have your say. We've got a few other people we're going to speak to in a minute as well. But Mo, obviously from a sort of a neutral standpoint tonight, I mean, it went very, very wrong for Chelsea tonight. Flat, no chances created. What do you think went wrong, Mo? What's the problem here?
A couple of points. Number one, I was fooled by Enzo Maresca in the beginning of the season. I thought he would be good. I thought that he would actually be someone who's tactically flexible. I thought that he would be better than this in terms of like utilizing his players. Nobody can tell me that this Chelsea team should be that lethargic, that absolutely boring in watching. They keep passing the ball. They're absolutely horrendous today, especially in the second half. How do you be out-coached the most of the games in the second half? And also, we told you so, Chelsea fans, that you're not a patient football club. You're not a patient fans. You guys were not going to be patient with this inexperienced guy who doesn't have the resume. We spoke before the season about someone who lacks experience as a coach to lead this team, to lead this young team. He needs world-class players. You don't have world-class players. And at the current moment, if you look at Chelsea, I'm so worried about them. I'm so worried about them finishing 6th or 7th or something like that. Yes, you guys can criticize the owners, but today is not on the owners. It's on Enzo Maresca. If Chelsea were creating abundance of chances in the second half and the striker is not converting, yes, maybe you can say that Maresca coached the win, but Maresca didn't coach a win. He didn't coach a win. In the second half, you really were the second team on the pitch. You were the second best team on the pitch. You were absolutely horrendous. If I'm a Chelsea fan, I'll be fuming, not at the owners today, at Enzo Maresca. Maybe I'll be fuming at the owners because they hired this guy as an inexperienced manager. But the reality is, today, he didn't coach a win. Some other games, a lot of people come at me and say, Mo, but we coached a win today. Enzo Maresca should have won the game. Not today. You were absolutely horrendous in the second half. Terrible. Boring, slow. No one is getting. Cole Palmer has fallen off a cliff lately. Jadon Sancho, Now, how many games? 11 games now with 1 assist. That is on the manager as well. You can't tell me that Zidane Sancho is this bad. He wasn't even that bad when he played for Manchester United. Madueke is rubbish. Neto cannot get something out of his feet. Cole Palmer is out of position most of the times. Nkunku is not even doing well. Caicedo is not doing amazing lately. You can talk about the handball or not the handball based on the law. And if this happens against your team, it's not a handball. He's not the guy who scored. That is the law now. And until they change the law, this is going to stay as the goal. Your goalkeeper is making mistakes. He can't deliver the ball. Tosin and Chalobah. Chalobah's going backwards from Crystal Palace. It took him 3 games, and Chalobah's going backwards. He's going backwards today. Look at his passing today. Look at his positioning today. Cucurella is not good enough. Malo Gusto went backwards with Maresca. He was better last season with Pochettino. You guys don't speak enough about the manager who actually fooled me in the beginning of the season. He was so good. You were second, 2 points behind Liverpool, and you're falling off, completely falling off. 2 competitions. You're out for Newcastle without a fight. You're out today without a fight against Brighton. Who knows? And by the way, the people that say the Conference League is not important. The most important thing is you play Champions League football next season because of the money. Conference League is not enough money in it. If you become 7th and win Conference League, he has failed. Completely failed. That is my point about Chelsea today. In terms of the game, he was out-coached. Couple of points before the guys come in. If you want to talk about the game today, the difference between the 2 coaches is that Brighton managers knew what to do. Every time they lost the ball, Brighton went back, as Terry said, to back 5 with people shielding the back line. Chelsea were leaving 5 players ahead of the ball the majority of the time. That is why Mitoma had a lot of spaces to run at Malo Gusto and the other side, Menta at Cucurella, because your manager is stubborn. He doesn't want to ask the players to go back. You left Nkunku, Palmer, Sancho, Neto ahead of the ball. That is 4 players not defending. And the manager of Brighton schooled Enzo Maresca today. In the second half, you were absolutely non-existent. Pass the ball, no shots on target. It's absolutely unacceptable for Chelsea. If you're a Chelsea fan, you got to ask the board to maybe get a new coach, to be honest with you. Maybe get a new coach. This coach might not be good enough for Chelsea. That is my opinion on this.
Listen, big words there. Viewers, let us know what you think. Give us your opinions in the comment section below. We're going to go to some of our other panelists right now as well. Nick's here with us. Nick's a Chelsea fan. What went wrong today in your opinion? And is it fair to put some fans are putting a lot of the blame, all the blame on Enzo. Others are going at the sporting directors. Where does it lie for you?
Don't get me wrong. The sporting directors and the money was spent from Bowley and Igbali. It's not always been in the right place. But today, I agree with Mo. It's not necessarily on the sporting directors. I think it's on Maresca. I think it's on some of the players who haven't been performing for a while. Palmer, I don't know what's happened to him. He can't get. One thing he was really good earlier on in the season, the last couple of seasons, is his weight of pass has been spot on. He can't pick out a pass at the moment. His touch isn't there. The wingers aren't doing anything. Our midfield today looked really weak. I mean, I think Caicedo, he's been our player of the season so far. And I think the problem is, I think one of the kind of criticisms I would say about the board and what they've kind of left with us is Enzo hasn't really been performing over the last 2.5 seasons he's been here. Carney Chukwuemeka we haven't really seen him basically since he got injured at West Ham last year. But he looked really bright. Maresca, for whatever reason, didn't fancy him. We've now got rid of Carney. Cassidy, he was always a bit too inexperienced. But again, he's gone now. Lavia has always been injury prone, hasn't he? So we haven't really been, other than Caicedo, we've got no one to rely on. I think that's a big problem we've got in midfield at the moment is we haven't got the depth there. I think we should have potentially brought Santos back from France. I was umming and ahhing it a few weeks ago because I thought I don't want to. He's performing so well over in France. You don't really want to kind of take him out of that, put him into kind of a badly performing Chelsea side, and then ruin his progression. But I'm going for the rest of the season. I'm a bit worried about our midfield now because I think Caicedo has been kind of the rock that's holding that apart. If we lose him, we fall apart. But I think everyone kind of knows all season what our defense has been like. We've leaked a lot of goals. We've been very error prone. But right now, it's the attack which is really worrying me at the moment is we look completely out of ideas, and that's when I think Maresca's got to take a bit of the blame as well as the players, because Maresca can't tell the players to take a better touch or kind of make the runs, and Nkunku can't really do what Jackson's doing, but I do think he's been played out of position. So I think it's a mixed bag, but yeah, right now it's not looking good. And I said Maresca, I think he's got to take a lot of the blame for it, because if we'd seen this form at the start of the season and then at the start of the season seen it now, it wouldn't have been so bad. But the fact we've seen how good this team can be and the fall off, it's hard to take, and it's hard to see what's going wrong. And I don't know where he can now turn this round, especially as we've let Felix go. I said we've let two of our midfielders go, and as I said, Mark Gu's out at the moment. It's looking a bit shallow at the moment. I don't really know when the next win's coming out of.
Well, the next game is you got away at Brighton, then away to Aston Villa. So the next two games in the league are then the next two games are at home to Southampton and Leicester. So you would expect wins in those matches, but the next two away games, away at Brighton, away at Aston Villa, they're tough. They're tough matches, and that pressure is going to mount up. And just on the run of form, again, I just looked at been looking at this while you were talking. In Man United have been awful. We all know that. We'll criticize him. In our last 10 games, we have 6 wins. In Chelsea's last 10 games, you've got 3 wins. And one of them was against Morecambe. Do you know what I'm saying? So it's 2 wins against genuine competitive sides in your last 10 matches. And yeah, as you say, as much as the sporting director's had a horrendous January, he has got to get better out of this group of players, because up until that, if you go back prior to that 10-game run, you won 8 games with a bounce. So they've done it. It's a real conundrum right now. There's no doubt. Andrew's here with us. What are you saying, Andrew?
So, Terry, thanks a lot for getting us on here, and I've been a fan of the show for for a year now. I want to say, I think Mo was talking about, Chelsea fans not being patient. I am a patient fan. I don't care so much about the results now, because I know we are building and all of that. And I was genuinely, at the beginning of the season, happy, like Mo was, happy to watch Chelsea play. Just the football, the way the Palmer was doing the touches and the goals against Everton, and he was always featured everywhere, goal of the month, a play that he did, vision, all of that. But it's so frustrating to watch them play now. It really feels like they're in that rut when Poch was the manager. And again, I don't care if it's Poch, if it's Maresca, who the manager is. I just think the philosophy, the mentality, the passion, and just energy is missing. That's what I think right now is missing, that they seem so lethargic. I saw the ball drop and Sancho ran till about it. He saw the Brighton player coming and he stopped. And I was like, it's okay, go into the tackle. I don't know if they're scared of injuries. I don't know what they're saving themselves for. It's frustrating. And even more frustrating is that Felix moved in this transfer window, which I think was a horrendous transfer window, the worst that I think that we had as Chelsea fans. And Felix moved, and in his debut match, he scored a goal. And that's what we need. We needed somebody to score a goal for us today. And literally the Brighton keeper gave us the goal. He took the ball and pushed it in. I thought we paid him or something, because it was so deliberate. And the other thing that was frustrating is to watch. I saw Palmer, Nkunku, sometimes Neto try to make runs. They have the hand up and they're making the run. And it's either Tosin or it's Trevor Chalobah who has the ball at their feet, and they pass back. I don't know if they're not seeing the run happening. They're not seeing the player in the spaces, but they pass back, and it's driving me nuts. And I think, again, another thing that is sort of bad luck is that when we saw a striker show some promise, Mark Gu, he actually played well in the game that he came on. He has that energy. He has that, that mentality. He's young. He wants to prove himself. And then he gets injured when we thought that he would have started this game. If he was not injured, he would have definitely started this game, and not Nkunku. I love Nkunku as a player. I really do. But I don't think he's a number 9. And I think seeing him in front, not pressing, at one point in time, he was in our back line. He was in our back line giving the ball to the players around. I was like, if you're the number 9, what are you doing in the back line? Stay up. Try and press from the front. It's frustrating, Derry. That's all I'm going to say. And again, thanks for giving me the opportunity to be on the show, and been a fan. And yeah, tell Hussam that we will come back. We're not poach out. And yeah, he keeps.
Bro, Hussam really is people's heads, bro. What the fuck?
No, but it's frustrating. It's frustrating because I was just watching his watch along because it keeps up coming up on my feed. And yeah, he was playing all these memes about poach out. But
can I ask a question? Are you guys, if you don't win the next 2 games, do you guys want Maresca out to save the season? Like,
No.
See,
okay,
no.
why not? Why not then?
Because I don't think that we have anybody who can come in now and replace him. And now the team they've built, like right now, I don't think a manager will come immediately. So either there'll be some caretaker that'll come back, and most probably they'll try to get Frank Lampard.
Hold on. If they get a real coach, not a caretaker, like for example, there are coaches available on the market. If they get someone, I don't know, Allegri, someone to save Chelsea to make you get 4th or 5th, would you guys accept that?
I would accept. The thing is, there is no negotiation right now. We have to, because like when we were on second, without any problems, when we were on second, I didn't think that we'll win the league, but I was like, okay, we are safe for the top 4. We will definitely be top 4. Now I'm worried. Now I'm worried that we might not make the top 4, and I don't want to depend on the 5th spot for Champions League. I want 4th, and that's it. I feel like an Arsenal fan saying I want 4th. You know, like Arsenal was always like, okay, they would be in 4th.
Yeah, but I think you understand as well. The one thing I'd say about Chelsea is for them to keep progressing, finances are important. There are only so many. This was clever business. There's only so many hotels. There's only so many assets you can sell to keep spending. Getting that Champions League money is important. You don't even have a shirt sponsor yet, so that's a. Yeah, and look, it's not a dig. It's just that's 20 or 30 or 40 million pound less of earnings. If you go into another season where you don't have Champions League money, that's where the way you spent at the beginning may start to bite you in the backside, because you're still paying for all those players. If they haven't, then you're not going to be able to sell them at a big profit. I mean, I'm talking the stars, and then you're going to have to buy quality to catch up. So it's so important. It's so important indeed to do.
And I also want. Yeah, I was just about to call out. I was just about to call out Don and the other Chelsea fans because they didn't turn up. But Don came out. But, but I was because I'm frustrated. I watch your show all the time, and I'm always here like rooting for the guys who are on the panel, Chelsea fans, because I think that they all have like valid points. But it's just so frustrating to not see them turn up. And yeah, I mean, I have the opportunity to come and talk here, but like it's nice to see them there defending the thing because they have the opportunity all the time.
Bro, it's hard when you go games, man. It's hard. It's hard, bro. Honestly, man.
No, but that I get. If you're at the game, that I get it. Yeah.
Don waited until the game is done to do the research and then came on the Football Terrace.
Bro, I'm not even surprised. Like, Terry, you're looking at me right now, bro. I'm not even angry, bro. I'm not even angry. You don't know how I feel about the team when Nkunku plays up top. Because right now, the team ain't even that confident. But when we play this guy up top, it's honestly like playing 10 men, bro. Right? And I'm not saying he was the only problem today, but the major problem that I've got is when he's playing up there, he doesn't like that position. He neglects that position, bro. I saw him at one point picking up the ball from the centre backs, doing rondos with the midfield. And I'm looking at him and I'm like, bro, when you leave the centre backs, all they do is squeeze up and there's no target man for us anymore. I see our players on the wings especially get the ball, they look up bears when Nkunku plays up top, and there's no one there, Terry. Right? There's no one there. And it's not so much on him, because today Maresca's hands were handicapped. They were handicapped, bro. Right? But today honestly reminded me of the game the other day. When I said to you, Spurs, when they played Liverpool, the game was made a lot easier because they had no striker. It's the same thing as today, bro. We had no outlet up there, right? If we had Gil available for this game, you would see Brighton scrambling a lot more because he would have been running the channels. He would have been pressing from the front. Nkunku does this half-hearted press as if he doesn't want to hurt his knees. Yeah, maybe he's got a mental block in his head right now about injuries because he doesn't press, bro. He jogs towards the ball. Yeah, and when you talk about the wingers, Neto was getting the ball so much in the first half, and every single time he's trying to run at Lamptey, he's just getting tackled. Does a little shimmy, he goes backwards. Then you've got Palmer stinking out the place in the midfield, right? The only midfielder that was good really in the first half for me, I thought Dewsbury was actually all right. I thought he was getting it. He was moving it quite quickly, progressing the ball. Caicedo was quite good as well with the balls he was playing into the final third. right? Second half, you saw Maresca try to tweak a few things. He played Cucurella in the left half space. He put Gusto in the pivot of Caicedo because Brighton were just trying to run through our midfield. I don't know if you guys noticed, João Pedro was just running through our midfield. So we needed a little bit more cover in there, right? But overall, he needs to start now tweaking it a little bit where he's got overlapping fullbacks because these wingers, the system is allowing the wingers to get on the ball a lot, Terry. Sancho, I don't know how many times you saw Sancho get on the ball today and he's got so much time and space to take a man on, but he doesn't want to do it, right? And that's what I was saying before. As much as we need an upgrade on Mudryk, yeah, we need an upgrade on Mudryk long-term, cool. But Mudryk is a different profile that's at least going to run at someone.
Do you know, you said something that you said something there that listen, I didn't like the way Sancho was treated at times, but when he was at Man United. But one thing that used to frustrate me, I think he's a much better technical football player than Garnacho. But Garnacho would run at a player. He might not always beat him, but he'd try. Where the amount of times I see Sancho, right, go at the fullback. And he's now starting to, when he first came to Chelsea, he's attacking and running. Now it's just, he gets it, I'll recycle it. I'll recycle it. I recycle it over and over again. It's interesting you pointed that out because that was always my biggest frustration with him at Man United.
Do you still think that your squad is good enough, Don? Like, seriously, you criticize like 6 of your superstars. Sancho, Palmer, Enzo. Do you still think your squad is good enough, as you were mentioning in the beginning of the season? Better than Liverpool, better than Arsenal?
Bro, we've seen these lot play better than this, man. Every team, if you watch every game, every team week in,
watch
week
every
out,
game.
You know that teams will have poor performances, right? But
you have had poor performances for a while.
Yeah, like Palmer's fell off. Palmer's really fell off. I agree with Mo. Palmer, like even Nkunku was looking at him and it was like, give me the ball in front because he gave him the ball at the back. He took the shot like a weird shot.
It was too.
Sancho has 1 assist in 11 games.
It's not good
enough. 1 assist in 11 games, bro.
But Mo, this is the problem, though. This is what I'm saying. Terry's spot on. Sancho is an important squad player, but he is not the answer against every single team. A game like today, ideally, you need a Garnacho sort of profile on the left. You need a Mark Gill up top because you know you're playing a high line. So today, like I've said, we didn't have the best players for this team. I'll be real, like out there, yeah. And that doesn't take away any blame from Sancho because he should be doing better. But I have to look at the bigger picture right now. We're missing Mudryk in this team because we haven't got anyone like for example, Terry. Look at Garnacho yesterday when he came on. Yeah, Garnacho changed the game for United, bro. He's just running at guys and creating chaos. He whipped in the ball. Before you know it, it bounces everywhere. They score. Yeah. How often did you see Sancho do that? Because he keeps cutting in. How often did you see Neto run past? That's what. Hold on, bro. Yeah. That's why I'm struggling to overly criticize Maresca because this system is allowing the wingers to have so many opportunities to take their man on. It's on them to do it, right? And they're not doing it. That's the problem here, right? That's why he now has to make it easier and he has to start overlapping the fullbacks a little bit more to give these guys more space and more time. Because like you're saying, Mo, they're just not as good as what we expected. It's simple as that. Everyone knows Sancho's never been that direct runner. He's never been that, bro. He's more of a facilitator. He likes to, keep the ball, retain it and that. And bro, Neto's best performance in the Chelsea top came up the other day against West Ham when we actually had a target man up top. I wonder why. Yeah. So right now, the squad, like I've said, for me, is dark times second half of the season. As soon as I saw Gill go down injured, I said it's peak. It's peak. I am not optimistic about the second half of the season because Jackson right now is drowning. Away from Jackson, he's not even a natural striker. The only natural striker I wanted to see getting minutes is now injured. Yeah. And Nkunku is useless up top. So what am I really optimistic about?
The biggest mistake we made. We kept Nkunku and we let Felix go. It was the biggest mistake. Even when he had the chance to be one-on-one, he got the ball. He made the run. He got the chance. He tried to scoop it up to Palmer in a weird way, and Palmer couldn't head it in. And I was like, just take the shot. It's okay if you miss. Yeah, it's okay if you miss. But just take the shot. Like they're not taking the shot.
I completely agree with you. I said on an energy thing, keeping the energy the same. The commentators tried to mock Xerxes yesterday. I think it was 1-1, and he tried to feed the ball into Højlund, and it was cut out. Oh, he lost the ball there. Yeah, I'm glad to see someone try and break a fucking line with a pass. That just recycling it is important at times, but there comes moments where I don't mind if a player has a shot and it goes in row Z. Like you got not shooting is worse than shooting and missing.
Exactly.
Agreed.
You've got to get the balance right. I want to speak to YU FC. Hasn't spoken yet. Hello,
no,
mate.
it's again, just to touch up a little bit on the Sancho, since I'm a United fan. Yeah, I genuinely, I love Sancho. He's a fantastic player. In terms of how technical ability, etc. But I think people need to understand there are players that just don't fit the Premier League. They just don't. They just don't. He's not a Premier League player. He's not. And we're talking about the best of the best teams. You look at how direct the wingers are in Arsenal. You have Bukayo Saka that will eat people alive 1v1. You have Martinelli. Yes, he's not doing well now, but at his best, he will kill you 1-on-1. And so it's profile, and Chelsea has a lot of talented players there, but then these players are just like misprofiled. You sign Nkunku because he's what? He's a second quote unquote striker. Isn't that what you did for Havertz? Isn't that what was Havertz? Wasn't Havertz a second quote unquote striker? You again, it's like Caicedo. I feel so bad for Caicedo because Chelsea are gonna kill this guy. Chelsea are gonna kill Caicedo. Like, guys, you guys are gonna ruin Caicedo. I remember, what was it? It's like Chelsea looked at Caicedo and said, "You know what? You're our N'Golo Kante." Like, there's only one of N'Golo Kante. N'Golo Kante is a once in a life generational player where he just has the energy to be a midfield by himself. If you're expecting Caicedo to do that, season in, season out, man, he's gonna have a short shelf life. Again, I don't know. With Chelsea, it is interesting about, and going back to what Mo said about Enzo Maresca. I followed this guy when last season, only for one reason only. As a United fan, I was invested in Kieran McKenna. I was keeping up with the championship, and there was a lot of warning signs and red flags about Enzo Maresca last season with Leicester. Leicester had the best team. They fell off hard in the second half of the season, and I'm gonna compare him to another manager in London, and I have a feeling that what happened with Enzo Maresca is teams found out. Like, they found you out when you're new and people don't know much about you, and they see you for the first time. Things are different. People don't know how to react to you. But once people study you, once teams, these coaches are good. The Bromwich coach, these clubs are good. They know how to set up against Chelsea, and Chelsea becoming way too predictable, way too predictable, and that also coincides with the fact that Jackson fall off a cliff. Is it coincidence that when Chelsea was banging in, Jackson was fantastic, was absolutely fantastic, scoring goals? Everyone was like, "Whoa!" People brought off Jackson last season, and all of a sudden he was hot. He was scoring bare goals, and as soon as he fall off, it just seems like Chelsea having just no other answer. It just for me is, man, Chelsea. I don't know what to say. And last thing I'll say is, what is so crazy. I also, I'm in a whole book group chat with a lot of Chelsea fans. Like, I'm always surrounded by Chelsea fans. My whole family's Chelsea, etc. Right? So I talk about Chelsea 24/7. One of my friends told me, Chelsea fans said, we simply lost to the better team, and I'm like, you guys, you guys took Cucurella and Caicedo from Brighton. You guys took the entire scouting department. You guys took what was one of the football directors. You guys took Graham Potter, and you're telling me you lost to the better team?
The worst thing is
like,
their
what?
manager. The worst thing is the Brighton manager is younger than the backline. Two of the
He's
players. of
31
backline.
years old.
Yes,
That's crazy.
yeah,
That's crazy.
the worst thing.
Crazy, man.
And we lost to that. Like,
There's a few super chats here. I want to do. First one. This was directed towards you, Andrew. That said, this guy is realistic. It's a product of a young team fighting through a long season, injuries, etc. It's a great test. Mo is the worst kind of troll. Mo being called out there. JJ says, Don is pissing me off. Are you on Maresca's payroll? Because you're blaming players, I think he's saying. But
bro, I literally criticized him and said there's a tweak that he can make here. But I'm sorry, today those performances from a lot of the players were disgusting. Right? I'm gonna look at the players first, and even even last season, Terry, did I not come in here numerous times where Poch set the team up correctly and blame the players more?
No, of course, yeah, no, mate, you're absolutely right. I think that there needs to be balance in this, and of course, we have a bit of banter with you and say you know you always blame managers and whatever else, but you are balanced with it, and there's fun and there's the truth, and I think from my perspective, I think Maresca has made mistakes and there's things to call him out on, but you can't just let the player. Like Man United fans did it last night. It's the system, man. It's the system. Well, the same system that after we scored and there was some confidence, we started battering them. That system. Oh, okay, yeah, cool. Like there's balance in these conversations. It's never always completely the manager. It's never always completely the players, completely this, completely that. It's always a combination of these things in reality.
And that's why I don't want people to completely lose their head, yeah, because we've got gaps in this team, yeah. Guys like Chalobah, even when I saw the links of him potentially coming back, I'm seeing bare people getting excited just so they can point and score against Clear Lake. Your standards are as shit as theirs. Because Chalobah should be at Palace. That's his level. What type of defending was that for the goal that they scored, bro? Ball watching again. Yeah. He had so much time to make himself aware of what was behind him. He did the same thing against Man City, Terry. Yeah. Levi Cole was pinning Haaland. Chalobah's looking at the ball. Foden's behind him. Gone. Yeah. This Chalobah guy has so many moments like this in him. So everyone that was celebrating for him to come back, your standards are shit, just like Clear Lakes. Just like the
Chalobah was bad. Chalobah was bad. He was
in a bit more.
Chalobah was bad, but he was still better than Tosin because Tosin was just like I don't know what that guy does and why we got him from Fulham. Like I get experience. We could have got better experience than him.
I thought he was going to be a lot better than he's been. I've got to hold my hands up on that one. I was a bit annoyed you got him. It just goes to show again when you move to a bigger club where you do more one-on-one isolated defending. It shows a different level. It exposes you a lot more, and he looked a lot better at Fulham.
No, I agree with why you.
Yeah, so I just want to say I've got to go, guys. I'm actually going out tonight to watch the UFC, and I'm being picked up. So I literally got to shoot. Yeah. I want to thank everyone who's tuned in. I want to thank everyone who's super chatted. We're back tomorrow with more content for you, including the Liverpool Plymouth game. And who else is playing? Tottenham versus Aston Villa. We'll be doing some content. I'm going to.
I just want to make one statement before. Just one statement. I want to say that if we lose Caicedo, I'm calling it now. I think then our season's done because, like, why you?
If he gets injured, yeah.
If he gets injured, because we are running him to the ground. If he gets injured, we are done. If you think Rodri, like in City, went like really bad without Caicedo, Chelsea's really going to go down. It's going to be bad.
I hear that. And to everyone who called in, Andrew, all the new people, Nick, everybody else, DR, Jay's backstage, Jay Ron, sorry, mate. We'll chat soon. Call in more. We've got some really exciting things on the horizon with the terrace, and phone-ins are going to be a big part of what we're going to be coming back with. Until next time, people, take care. Goodbye. God bless. This is going to redirect you to MHF. Go and watch Mo and Hussam. Go and support them now. See you all again soon, people. Peace.